Hey, Ben, it's me, Jared from Downingtown, PA. How you doing?
Doing good, Jared. What's on your mind?
I was actually joking. You said Trump wants to take us back to the Gilded Age. I said he wants to take us back to the Stone Age if Bannon gets his way with the war.
Well, yeah, you're not too far off with that one.
But what I really wanted to call was I want to do a little history lesson. I always love history, and I know Americans aren't that good with history, but I'm going to talk about foreign countries' history real quick. A brief rundown, and then I'll let you know what my main point is.
Okay.
So in the 1930s, Europe was struggling in the Great Depression, and all the countries in Central and Southern Europe were turning into fascist states. In fact, the only two outside of Western Europe and Scandinavia that weren't fascist was the Spanish Republic, which was in a civil war, and Czechoslovakia, which was later taken over by the fascist states. But as that was happening, Denmark was a democratic constitutional monarchy at the time.
Okay.
And the Nazi regime invaded at the time. And the thing was, though, that Denmark was neutral, and the king and the prime minister, who was a social democrat, who was actually very critical of the Nazi regime, when they invaded, they were in a really bad spot. They didn't know what to do. Should they collaborate with them? If they collaborated with them, that would be good, or anything like that. But in 1943, they held a democratic election.
Okay.
And I know it was democratic because the Nazis only got 2% of the vote. But after that, the Nazis started really pushing for cracking down on civil liberties, and then they just suspended the government. So the point I'm trying to say is, I would say we are in the situation of Denmark right now. We have a choice. Do we want to collaborate with the fascists who are occupying our government? Do we want to continue pretending like we have a democratic system, which we don't? Trump can get rid of it anytime he wants. He can just declare martial law. Are we going to start, are we going to have to really get into the streets or something at this point? Like, we should be, going down in the street, have not a million women's march, 10 million march, demanding that this government resign at this point. I'm serious here.
All right.
Because I don't consider them the government. I consider them an occupying force.
All right, Jared, I hear you. I hear your main point. And let's see. Do I agree? And to what extent do I agree? I'd like to see Trump try. Let me put it like that. I would like to see Trump try to, well, actually, hang on. He's most certainly trying to invalidate the checks on the balance of power, right? He's clearly doing that. He's doing that with the media. Some of the things he's doing is textbook authoritarianism, right? And then the Republican Party 100% does not, they can't bring themselves to actually oppose his methods, even when his methods tread on him. Case in point, Marco Rubio sought clarification from the Department of Homeland Security on Trump's Muslim ban, or his migrant ban, and the DHS told him that they were instructed not to answer questions for members of Congress. Right. So here Trump is clearly stepping on the toes of the balance of, not the balance of power, but the check on power. And Republicans can't bring themselves to do anything against it. So while what you said at face value, what you said sounded rather hyperbolic, and my natural inclination is to just and it actually kind of sound conspiracy theorist. And my natural inclination is to reject any notion of conspiracy theory. I honestly have to. I think you may be more right in this instance than me, because he clearly has a pattern of ignoring the Constitution, treading on the Constitution. I mean, you know, the only thing I don't know if he has enough chutzpah to do is actually, you know, try to suspend the government through martial law. I don't know if he has the backbone to do that. But should we wait to see is I think what the caller is saying. No, I don't think we should wait to see. I think we should regularly display of force, show people in the streets regularly protesting, but more important than protesting. And I want to say this at every time we talk about what to do, it must include efficient organizing, and it doesn't necessarily include the need to start to reinvent the wheel, but to organize with people who are successfully organizing now. So display a show of force, get out in the streets, protest, but more importantly, organize so that we don't get caught off guard, dismissing the possibility like I just did, but we're prepared for it and show that we're not going to take it sitting down. So actually, I would rather err on the side of caution in this case, which the caller is saying, than for me to just dismiss it because it sounds like a conspiracy theory. But then based on all the evidence of what Donald Trump has shown so far, the caller may be right than I am, more right than I am.